What's up, YouTube? Making a quick video here to show you how I made my Honda fourtrax trx300 watertight. I can fully submerge my four-wheeler underwater up to the handlebars. I don't get water in anything. It doesn't kill, sit there and idle for as long as I want it. First step, we're going to start with your air box. I've already made a video on how to seal this, so check that video out if you're curious on that. Then we'll move to our carburetor. One of the most important things here. Sometimes people neglect, they think everything's up to the snorkel. No, you got to make sure this carburetor's right. You got one vent line. This is an OEM, by the way. If you have a cheap Chinese eBay carburetor, ditch it. Get your OEM one off eBay or find one Facebook Marketplace or something. They're just much better. But your vent line, you want to make sure you have that vent line. These the boot here that goes from the carburetor to your air box, and also the boot that goes from the carburetor to the engine. You can see what style clamps I used. These are a lot better than the factory ones. The factory ones, they got the little Phillip head screw. They strip real easy. Can't really torque them down good. So these clamps are a lot better. You can torque these down. You can get a socket on it. Just a lot better of a seal. Next, one of the most important things here, this is what people really neglect, is your carburetor drain line. This right here, trying to get a good angle on it. This right here is a one-way check valve. It comes with one from the factory. You want to make sure that you have two on there. The purpose of this is so that way whenever your carburetor needs to drain fuel, this allows it to drain out but doesn't allow water to come in. The reason behind having two is that way if one goes bad, you have another one for backup, because if you get water in your carburetor, that's it, it's going to kill on you. And these, like I said, just get two brand new ones. They're inexpensive. So do not plug this. I see some people say that they plug theirs. That's not a good thing to do. I mean, even though I know I just freshly rebuilt my carburetor, you don't want a chance to float getting stuck and fuel backing up into your motor. The last thing you want is fuel inside your engine oil. That's no good. So yeah, make sure, this is very important. Put two one-way check valves on your drain line. You can order them on Partzilla or wherever. Next important thing, your crankcase vent. This 1/2-inch hose here I got from Lowe's, just clear hose, that way you can see in it. Some people run this to their air box. The reason I didn't is because I didn't want to put another hole in my air box. That's more I got to worry about. So you can see what style clamp I use. Clamp down on it good. So you want to run your vent line and you want to put some loops in it. You see I got loops in it right here and zip tied. The reason behind these loops is so that way if you sink your four-wheeler and water gets inside your crankcase vent line, that creates an air pocket, so it keeps it from getting back into your motor. The water's going to build up just right here and it's just going to sit there. It's not going back all the way to your motor. Every once in a while moisture builds up in this line, by the way I do it, and so all I do is just cut the zip ties, pull the line off, straighten it out, and just blow some compressed air through it and blow the water out. I have to do that every so often, but that's the best way to do this. I mean, you can run it to your air filter. Yeah, sorry, can't talk. Air filter. I don't do that. This is how I do mine. Next is all your vent lines. Like I said, you got a carburetor vent line, and again, you want to run all these up your snorkel. You have a rear diff vent line. You have the front diff vent line, and you have the transfer case vent line. It's kind of hard to get on the front differential one, and I believe you also have vent lines on your brakes. I don't have brakes on this four-wheeler. Who needs brakes? It's a Honda 300, so I don't have those, but you want to run them up your snorkel. I ran mine kind of in loops and come out like this. The reason you don't want them just sticking straight up like this is because if it rains or anything like that, water's just going to go straight into your vent lines. So I run them at an angle like this. My snorkel, you can see how I did mine. I cut the factory snorkel. Now I'm gonna make a video on this showing detail how I snorkel this four-wheeler, but I did this. This is a spa hose. I did this so I didn't have to cut a hole in the plastics. I mean, these plastics are beat up. It doesn't really matter, but the only con to this is bad steering. I mean, this really gets in the way of turning, makes it hard to turn. But you can see I have these clamps here on this coupler here, and this works really good. I like this way. It's easy, slick. You don't have a bunch of pipe running out the side. I mean, you can't see it. I mean, so I believe that is, nope, one more thing. Spark plug and your spark plug boot here. We want to make sure that's in good condition. I put a bunch of dielectric grease in this, and you want to make sure that your spark plug wire, your coil here, you want to make sure it's in good shape. I suggest you take your four-wheeler outside, get the water hose, and wet all this down. If it kills, then you know you got a problem. You're gonna have to change either the boot or the coil here. And when I was making this four-wheeler, I went ahead and put brand new on it. I mean, you might as well. It's not that expensive. And I believe that's it. I mean, that's everything I did to make my bike watertight. So far, no problems. You want to dielectric grease all your connections, your CDI box for sure. But I take all of these and basically I take all the plugs, put dielectric grease in it. And also I change out the, let me see if I can, I don't feel like digging them out. Yeah, here we go. All the factory glass fuses, I changed those out for the newer style blade box fuses here. You can get these on Amazon cheap. This is a must. Like any 300 I get, I'm going to do that because they're a lot easier to change. And if you have a fuse go bad, nobody carries glass fuses with them. You'll probably always be able to find some kind of fuse to go in here. So that's a good upgrade there. But yeah, dielectric grease everything, man. Every connection you can, put dielectric grease in it. Don't be scared. And that's basically it. That's how you make your Honda fourtrax watertight. So I appreciate y'all watching, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day.